Good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Hudgens. I have read your papers on conflict management and have posted feedback in Blackboard for you. I apologize that this is so late. It's been a very long day, so you're now seeing me without any makeup and my hair's all messed up. You can see Madeline, my puppy, over my right shoulder. She is wanting to know why she is not in her bed by now. So I wanted to just touch base really quick and let you know that your feedback is out there. I really love this assignment because it gives you a chance to talk about something within your own environment, something that's relevant to you or something that was an important change for you from a professional standpoint. I was amazed at the variety of things that you all are experiencing, from the implementation of the electronic medication record or the electronic health record, the implementation of new positions, a care coordinator versus a midwife, new processes like hanging heparin and how to verify that. Even the change of creating using the concept of transformational care at the bedside. There's so many great things going on out there that are really changing our organizations and changing our culture. And in the midst of a culture change, lots of conflicts occur. Even highly regulated, well-managed organizations experience conflict during change. And it's important for you to understand that change creates conflict and that how we handle the conflict will make or break us. And we're modeling how we handle it by how we demonstrate that for either our patients or our staff that we're supporting. One thing that one of your peers wrote today, it was Jessica, that I have copied and pasted in my file of most favorite things I've ever read. And she was discussing a conflict between a department within her facility. They were downsizing and they had managers that were shuffling within the organization, and a manager had to become an assistant manager. She was talking about the conflict that occurred between them when she wrote, the assistant unit manager lost power because he went from managing his own unit to helping someone else run their unit. The unit manager liked to take her time processing and thinking about things before making a decision, like a crock pot. The assistant manager was quick with actions, with lots of different things at once, like a microwave. Different personalities in the workplace can create opportunities for conflict. I so appreciate a crock pot and a microwave analogy. As your reader, that just makes sense to me. And as a leader, I am so much more the microwave type. I'm probably actually a flash fryer. I want to know what we're doing, how quickly we're going to do it. Let's bang it out and get it done. So I'm pretty good in a crisis. But if you want long-term strategic planning, global thinking, I struggle with that because I'm not terribly patient. So I think Jessica did a fantastic job giving us that analogy. And for me, that's just really visual. And I can understand how those two new leaders having to work together experienced some significant conflict from their work styles. You all explored things that created barriers in the conflict resolution process. A few of you talked about toxic environments or cultures that supported blame instead of accountability. And also several of you talked about communication being a barrier to an effective use of the conflict resolution process. So I thought those were all really great things. From an APA standpoint, things looked really tight this week. I don't have any major feedback. There were lots of little different things. The one thing that I noticed several times is the standardization of your margins. I know this is nuts, but sometimes if you just open a Word document, it has its own designed format. So it will just format on its own. Make sure that your margins are 1 inch all the way around, top, bottom, right, and left. And sometimes, again, that's a default to Word. So if you don't set a new default, your margins will be uneven. So just make sure that you check those. And also just another reminder, you got to have headings. And at this level, folks, you should be using levels 1, 2, and 3. And if you're not comfortable using them, please take the time to review those concepts within your APA handbook. Or you can use the Purdue OWL site that's posted as well. For next week, I want you to be aware that your log is due. It's your first clinical log. Remember, before you start your log, go do your time log, because it's the first thing I go look at. I make sure that all your time is documented, and I use that to reconcile each of your days for your log. If you were in your practicum setting 3 days, your time log should have 3 entries for those 3 days, and then you should have an individual page for each day that you were there. Within each page, you need to make sure that you're addressing the goals that you address that day. Please don't put every goal that you have. What goals did you work on that day? And then you need to make sure that that you talk about how your work during that clinical day relates to your goals and objectives. And then you need to tie it all in with the ANA scope and standards. You should cite specific standards that your work during that preceptor day accomplished. So make sure your goals and objectives are listed. Make sure you give adequate detail about what you did during that day. An entire novella is not needed, but enough information so I know how you spent your day. And then tie that in with the ANA scope and standards. You need a citation for the ANA scope and standards on each page. That way I know that you've properly referenced your sources. Folks, I suspect you've had as long a day as I have, and that's, of course, if you're actually watching this at 10:24 on Monday night. That means you're as tired as I am. I'm going to grab my puppy, take her potty, and go to bed. If you all have any questions or concerns, folks, I'm here. Send me an email, touch base, and let me know how you are. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. I'm praying for you and hoping that you are well. Take care. Good night.